In the world of international trade, clear communication is key. Contracts define responsibilities and minimize risks. Today we'll unpack a common term, FOB or free on board. Buckle up and let's navigate the seas of international trade. An FOB contract outlines the responsibilities of the seller, exporter, and the buyer, importer for the delivery of goods. Here's what it means. Seller, exporter's responsibility. The seller is responsible for preparing the goods for export, including packaging and obtaining any necessary export licenses, delivering the goods to the designated port on the agreed date, loading the goods onto the buyer's chosen vessel, arranging for customs clearance for export. Now let's look at buyer's responsibility. The buyer takes over once the goods are loaded on board. Buyer is responsible to pay for the goods as per the contract. Buyer is responsible to hire the shipping company and arranging for insurance, if desired. Buyer assume all risks and costs associated with the journey from the port of loading. Buyer is responsible to handle import customs clearance and any associated fees. Ownership of goods will pass once goods have been placed on board the ship. In the case of Carlos Federspiel v. Charles Twigg, 1957, seller is a British company and buyer is a Costa Rican company. 85 bicycles were packed into cases with buyer's name indicated and registered for shipment via Liverpool. Receivers and managers were appointed for seller before the bicycles were sent to port. It was decided by the court that property and goods, bicycles, has not passed to the buyer. Think of FOB like a handoff at the port. The seller delivers the goods safely on board, and then the responsibility shifts to the buyer to handle the rest of the journey. Now let's talk about advantages of FOB contract. FOB offers advantages for both parties. 1. Clear division of responsibilities. A clear line is drawn, reducing confusion. 2. Flexibility for buyers. The buyer has control over choosing the shipping company and insurance. Understanding FOB contracts is a valuable asset for any international trade endeavor. Remember, clear communication and well-defined terms are essential for a smooth and successful transaction.